Mario Bros. Wonder is the latest addition to the already colossal collection of Mario games that exist in the world today. Naturally, my biggest doubt is for how unique the game is when compared to the many other predecessors that came before it. 2D platformers have been making a bit of a comeback in recent years, so there's a lot more of a variety and competition in the industry right now. The last Super Mario Bros. Game originally came out over a decade ago, and that time gap spans whole generations of games development, and now I wonder how much have they improved since their last release, and if this game is even worth playing. The immediate thing that stood out to me was how tactile Mario feels to control. The game is very responsive, and the level of quality in the animation work here really complements the fluid gameplay. It's equally satisfying to rush through levels as fast as possible, or instead explore each zone at your own pace. In fact, one of my biggest fundamental criticisms of the previous Mario games, the timer, has been removed for the most part, which I believe really supports that slow-paced playstyle, allowing for the player to absorb a lot more of those finer, well-polished details. Super Mario Bros. Wonder will be one of the most robust and concrete experiences you'll ever play. Throughout the 25 hours that it took me to complete, I didn't encounter a single bug or once think that the game was behaving differently to what was intended by the developers. The thing that gets me most excited about Mario Wonder is that I feel that this game is only just beginning to explore what it's actually capable of, which is only given a proper and full display once you encounter easily the biggest draw to and defining feature of this game, the Wonder effects. If the controls didn't sell you on the concept for this game up to this point, the Wonder Flowers will. This is like a wildcard power-up that's hidden within the majority of levels you'll play. They're typically heavy concentrated effects that exist to throw some chaos into the mix, which is the exact kind of tonal shift a game as formulaic as this needed. I'm a Goomba! While there's plenty of variety between each game world, as they all look different and introduce new gameplay elements, that kind of change has become somewhat predictable through the years. In most Mario games, you can expect to be taken through a plethora of environments that are all distinguishable and contrast well from one another, but in Mario Wonder, these flower effects feel completely unique. It's almost like for years, they've had that one guy in the back of the office suggesting these outlandish ideas that kept getting dismissed, and then now they've said to him, "Here's a flower, go nuts." What the fuck? These effects completely decimate the rules of this game, which now allow for scenarios that are always fun and engaging. They're often whimsical, with a kaleidoscope of visual effects that are impressive to look at, leading me to only one rational conclusion: Mario's on LSD. Yay! When the drugs wear off. Something that I feel is overlooked as a result of the eye-catching chaos that is the Wonder Flowers would be the badges you can collect. These aren't just token items, however. They function as equipable moves that can only be performed when wearing that specific badge. So for example, you have this dolphin kick badge that lets you move faster whilst underwater. As I mentioned previously, I'm incredibly excited for the prospect of future game developments from Mario Wonder, and the badges are like customizable moves that can be taken into any level. Now with regard to this game, that isn't too exciting, right? But now if I suggest another, Mario Maker perhaps? Oh, now you see what I'm trying to say. It isn't confirmed yet whether or not Mario Maker 3 is even in development, but the previous games have used these major 2D releases as the main format type for players to design and create their own unique levels. Nintendo, please hear me on this one. Give players the ability to use these badges in the levels, and I promise you, they'll make the most mechanical and engaging Mario Maker content ever created. Before I get too carried away talking about other games, let me just finish my review of Mario Wonder real quick. So yeah, the gameplay is good, and the Wonder Flowers really helped to keep my interest. For the first 4 worlds, I was completely enthralled by the experience, which easily offers about 20 hours of concentrated fun. That being said though, for me the last 2 worlds just didn't feel as inspired. A couple of the wonder effects were reused, which diminished that sense of variety from the previous worlds, and generally my focus shifted from enjoying the gameplay to just trying to finish it. I think I particularly wanted more from World 6. By my taste, I would have much preferred a lava lake instead of another underground world like the fungi mines. They made the right decision placing the castle much closer to the start of this world, but that's because its levels just aren't as engaging. You're much better off finishing this game at this junction and then returning if you're looking to experience everything that this game has to offer, which I would strongly advise you do, given that astronomical £49.99 price tag. And now we come to the greatest detractor as to why I struggle recommending this game to my friends. It's just too expensive. When this video started, I brought up how there's now a lot more competition within the industry. Most of these other games like Ori and Hollow Knight are just as enjoyable, but come with much cheaper price tags. I just don't value modern day 2D platformers to the same degree as 3D games, as I often don't invest anywhere near as much time into them. All of their majorly appealing content can usually be enjoyed much quicker at around 20 hours or so, which is less than half the playtime of what you would expect from most AAA games, typically at around 50 hours or so. The only really secure recommendation that I can say is to either get this game for your kid or enjoy it for yourself as a fan of the series. Its value is just too high risk, and knowing that this is a mainstream Nintendo game, it will likely never go on sale.